Hi. So for those of you who don't know, I do have a book club, and for August my community voted on Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, and I actually hadn't heard anything about this book before going into it, so I went into it a little bit blind, and it was actually a nice little surprise. So let's talk about it, yeah? Also, my allergies are actually killing me a little bit, so if my voice sounds a little bit congested, that's why. It's fine, I'm fine. So, Spark of the Everflame takes place in a world that is ruled by the ruthless descendants of the gods, and our main character is named Diem Bellator, and she just wants to escape this confines of her small little poor village. But then, Diem's mom suddenly disappears, and she finds herself thrown into the dangerous world of the descended royalty. She ends up in the middle of a brewing civil war with the dying king's heir watching her every move. The mysterious prince. Diem has to figure out how to navigate this new world of betrayal, love, power, to find her mom and save her family and even maybe all of mortal kind. Also, before we get further into it, I just have to read you the dedication of this book because it might be one of my favorites. It says, "For anyone who has ever been told that their spark shouldn't burn so bright, and for all the people who loved them precisely because it did." I love that. I think that's so cute. So, Spark of the Everflame wasn't anything new that we haven't read before. It's got a war between those with magic and those without. It's enemies to lovers. It's got a stabby female main character. It's got a dark and mysterious prince. And the plot was honestly very predictable to me, but that being said, I still really did enjoy this book. I didn't go into it with any expectations, and I think that's why I liked it as much as I did. I thought the pacing was fine. I thought the world building was great, even though I wanted more from it. There was quite a bit of info dumping at the beginning of the book, but the world building is really simple and easy to understand, so it didn't take me out of the story like most fantasy books do when they info dump that much. I did love the main character Diem and her family, but Diem has an insane amount of plot armor in this book. I don't want to spoil anything, but one tiny little example of this is she goes to the castle, right, and she meets the prince, and if any other mortal in this world called the prince names and refused to use his proper title, they would have been immediately, but when Diem does it, it's, charming and cute, and let's just let her keep doing it, She also was at times pretty annoying and made some very stupid decisions, but I still really liked her character and I was still very entertained by her story, so. And even though the male main character Luther was just like every other dark, brooding, not all that he seems prince, I still really loved him too. I'm also someone who really loves side characters, as you've probably noticed if you watch these videos, but in this book I didn't really care for any of them, especially Diem's childhood best friend Henry, who, if you've read Hunger Games or Shadow and Bone, he reminded me so much of Gale from the Hunger Games and Mal from Shadow and Bone, and those two characters, So clearly I do not like him. He needs to leave the story. He needs to get out of here. Also, the book is described as a slow burn enemies to lovers romance, but there was not nearly enough angst and tension between Diem and the main love interest that there should have been to be labeled this, and the romance actually felt very rushed. These two characters barely knew each other before they were kissing up against the wall and stuff. I don't know, it felt so rushed, and the pacing of the romance was very off to me. Like I said earlier in the video, this book was very predictable to me. The plot was very predictable. I could literally guess everything that was going to happen, literally all the way up to the end. I could see the ending coming from a mile away, but it was a nice setup for book 2. I did rate this book 4 stars. It was far from perfect, but like I said, I enjoyed it and I did find it entertaining. I'm excited to read the rest of the series, and I think they'll only get better from here, so we'll see. And I do recommend this book to anyone that wants a little bit of an easier fantasy read, one that's not going to make you think too hard about the world and how the magic system works. Definitely give this one a go. And then for September, my community voted on An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This one has actually been sitting on my shelf for maybe 2 years now, so I'm excited I'm being forced to actually get to it. I've heard great things about it. If you would like to join book club, we do it through Discord. The link is in my Instagram bio. My handles are the same throughout social media. So at Sky Reads, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Discord. I think that's it. anyone and everyone is welcome in the Discord. We talk about reading, we talk about writing, we talk about all things fantasy related. So even if you don't want to come join book club and you just want to come chat and hang out and meet new friends, you're welcome to join. Much love to you all.